How's it going?
Awesome as always.
Awesome as always. And for those of you who don't know Nick is a breakthrough specialist. He's a 9-time Abraham Hicks hot seater. So you might have heard him in one of the videos or even seen him. Nick is a TED Talk speaker. He's an author, and his biggest project right now and in the past year and for the foreseeable future is the Power Manifesting Collective, which is a collective group call that Nick does every week with now almost 250 members, right?
Yeah, it's been growing like crazy and it's been amazing. So much fun.
Which is fantastic. And the cool thing about it is it's not just a group call where you jump on a call every week, but there is a whole manifesting support system that comes with it. So you get access to Nick's Facebook group that is solely dedicated to co-creating on the leading edge. So you will have fellow co-creators with you that you can communicate with. Nick is very active in the group, answers questions, and it's a permanent expansion, and I'm excited to be a part of. And Nick, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the Power Manifesting Collective before we jump into the 3 key points to manifesting abundance. I saw a video of you yesterday posting that, and I wanted you to come on and share this with our audience as well, because this is fantastic. So please give us a little bit about the collective.
My guide to manifesting money. Yeah, we'll dive into that. So the collective really, so my focus and my niche in this role as a breakthrough specialist is helping people take the Abraham Hicks concepts and getting practical with them. Because in my experience, you know, the 8 teachings, they feel really good and they resonate as truth at a deep level. And even though people are experiencing new awareness shifts in her materials, there's still a little bit of lag or lack from a practical vantage point. So my specialty has always been on taking her teachings and making them a little bit more practical, making them a little bit more applicable, so people are really bridging the gap to manifesting the big stuff they really want to let in.
And when you say that's been your goal and that's been your passion, usually this first starts with, you know, a success of your own or just realizing how powerful it is. So you've had some of those amazing success moments as well, right?
Yeah, like I've had, you know, multi-million-dollar manifestation. I've got the dream relationship.
He says it like, yeah, I've had multi-million-dollar manifest, you know, just like it's
Yeah, but
a big thing.
you get to the point where it's no longer about the manifestation itself, but it's about living in the new paradigm where like magical synchronicity becomes the norm. And, you know, I call it the pizza paradigm, and, you know, the collective members know what I'm talking about, but because a lot of them are experiencing this, where you get into this paradigm, this state of being, this way of experiencing physical reality, which is different than just chasing after stuff, where the joy of the physical reality experience and the really cool and crazy synchronicities go from happening, you know, once or twice a year to like more of a consistent experience. Reality becomes the sheer joy and pleasure it's meant to be, and it's no longer about chasing stuff, but it's, you know, how much can I enjoy and milk this physical reality experience that I'm finding myself in. And I think that stepping into this new decade of 2020 is all about shifting into this new way of experiencing physical reality that just feels so good and is so much fun.
It does feel good just listening to you talking about it. I actually, I put a line in a song recently that's, you know, I used to chase my dreams, now they're chasing me. And it's, you know, it's when you get in this field of, you know, being connected, of being aligned, all of a sudden you experience this shift where, oh, things are just rolling in from everywhere.
Yeah, one of my favorite affirmations is everything I want is chasing me.
Yeah, I love that too. That's probably why I put it in the song. And so for those of you out there who are looking for, you know, being part of such a group and being part of this focused, beautiful alignment, you know, to just create a new reality for yourself, you can join the Power Manifesting Collective. We put a link in the description, and Nick has this amazing generous offer where the first month is 75% off. So you basically join it for $25 down today. and get
Yeah.
access not just to the weekly calls, but also to, I understand, all the past calls. So you can basically binge watch, turn Netflix off and binge watch the Power Money Manifesting Collective calls.
Yeah, there's 7 months of calls in the recording library. There's 5 weeks of money specific calls. And it comes with the money back guarantee. So for me, I only want people in the collective who feel right being there, who really want to be there. So literally for the first month, it's 75% off and money back guarantee. So that gives people a chance to give it a try and see if it's the right fit for them. And then if they enjoy it, which most people do, then they can choose to stick around as long as they want.
Which most people do, as we've learned, because the collective is growing. I enjoy, I'm on the Facebook group. I'm in the group every day. I just enjoy, even if I don't comment or post, I just enjoy reading, and getting a feel for the expansion that all the members are having. And there's a lot of success stories, and people are
Totally.
generally excited about their expansion.
So back in November, we did a call called Claim Your $50,000 Vibrational Bonus. And literally this week, somebody just messaged me saying that their $50,000 actually manifested, which is so much fun. I didn't expect it to happen that fast for somebody. So we're just having a blast.
So this is it. This is what focused attention focus means when you are, then you surround yourself with people that have the same aspirations, and all of a sudden things really start clicking because you don't fall out of it anymore as fast as you used to.
Yeah. Well, there's power in community.
And for those of you who just, you maybe this is the first time even hearing and seeing Nick, there's a link to a free e-course, no strings attached. You just join it, you watch it, and you just get a feel for how Nick works, his teachings, his ideas of expansion for you, and then, you can take it from there. So, it's completely awesome to have these opportunities today. So we'll put the links in the description. And before we jump into your guide to manifesting money, and you have 3 key points for us today. I enjoyed your video very much, by the way. It's so clear, it's precise, it's on the point, and it's really easy to do, which to me are the key factors. If it's all of that,
Simplicity and consistency. That's what people should be looking for. A lot of people jump from modality to modality to technique, looking for the one magic switch that they think if they flip it, then everything's going to show up. And it doesn't work like that. It's about simplicity and then acting on that simplicity in a consistent fashion. And the 3 money manifesting things we're going to go over today are literally the 3 core foundational pieces that if you get these 3 pieces right, you have to experience finances in a very positive way in your physical reality.
Oh, wow, it makes me feel good. And one more thing that I wanted to mention, because I know this has been a project dear to Nick's heart. We've been talking about it for the past year. His book is coming out very soon, will be released and published very soon. It's called Power Manifesting, which I know, Nick, you've been going back and forth with names, but this one was always your favorite. So when are we going to see the book? And I know you've been so excited to get it out there finally. So what's going on with that?
Yeah, the book is kind of an offshoot of this free e-course. So 6-7 months ago, I had the inspiration for this e-course, threw it up online, and people are loving it. I think last month we had 2,500 people sign up for that free e-course. Looks like we're going to hit 5,000 signups this month. And that e-course is literally, a short 30-minute, 60-minute video series. And what this book is kind of an expansion of what's in that e-course. I get much more detailed. I go into stories of synchronicities that I've experienced, that my clients have experienced. I tie everything together with processes. I believe that it's literally the most complete and practical book ever written on the topic of law of attraction. And I'm just super excited to get in people's hands. It's going through this formatting process now, so it should be available on Amazon. Fingers crossed, possibly as early February, latest end of March.
Fantastic. So be on the lookout for Power Manifesting by Nick Breau. Of course, if you sign up for the e-course or the Power Manifesting Collective, then you'll be notified. You'll know when it's out there. You might even get early access. So there's You know, if you join it, you'll definitely be the first one to know. And now, Nick, let us jump into your key points for manifesting money and why. What did you say? 86% of the people put
Yeah,
it
so
as their number one point on their list is what do they want to manifest? It's always money.
yeah, so in the e-course, one of the first things I do is there's a little survey there, and I think about half of the people who sign up fill the survey out. It takes maybe 30 seconds, and the first question is, what's at the top of your manifestation list? And 81%, and it fluctuates between, I think, 79% and like 85%, depending on what day I check. But when I checked last, 81% of people said that money was the number one thing on their list, which is really interesting based on the third key point we're going to go over today. So yeah, so money obviously is the number one thing people look for when they come to the law of attraction.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. And from someone who has manifested, seven-figure amounts, from your experience with the collective and as a coach and breakthrough specialist, what are your key points for manifesting money?
Okay, so I've got 3 key points. These are the same key points I went through in my video yesterday. And I've got 3 processes. So each process to match that key point. So the first key point, and this is the thing that most people are probably doing, which blocks money, is it's understanding that manifestation is binary. So on every given topic, you're either practicing lack, absence, or presence of the desire. Binary means, in computer code, binary is 0 or 1. Everything is 0 or 1. Yes or no. So binary means it's one or the other. So in the context of law of attraction, binary is simply measured as absence or presence. So on any given topic, you are either practicing the vibration of absence of that thing that you want or presence of that thing that you want. Now, in the context of money, every time there's money going out, every time a bill comes in, do you think we're practicing presence or absence?
Well, I think most people, when money goes out, it's absence.
Right? Every time you think the thought, I don't have enough money for that thing that I want, you are practicing absence, right? And by the way, every word you speak out of your mouth, every thought you think, you are pre-paving your future reality. So every single time you think the thought, I can't afford that thing, how am I going to pay that bill? You are literally practicing the vibration of absence. And that's why most people have more momentum towards absence of money versus presence of money. Because most people, they may get, one paycheck every 2 weeks. They might only notice presence of money, much less frequently than absence of money. So that's the very first thing you need to ask yourself if you want to up your money game is, do I spend more time focused giving attention to absence and lack of money versus presence of money? So that's the first key point. Now, how do we address that key point, right? Because it's hard to ignore the fact that you got bills coming in and the fact that you owe money to this, that, or the other thing. The process we came up with in the collective, and it was literally, I think, 2 weeks ago or last week in the call, is what I call the 3-jar money process. And I'm not a big fan of like money processes, but this one just makes sense. And here's why. So instead of focusing on absence of money, we want you to focus on presence of money. So what you do is you take 3 clear jars. That could be glass mason jars, any jar that's clear that you can see what's in it. Fill that jar with money. Doesn't matter if you're putting dimes, quarters, nickels, $100 bills, whatever it is you want to fill into each of these jars, you want to use real money. And on that jar, label it with, I am surrounded by money and wealth. And then what you do, and you can do this with 3 jars or 5 jars, I call it the 3-jar money process. Take these jars and place them in different rooms in your home where you're going to see them often. So every time you walk into that room and you see that jar, you're stating to yourself, you're feeling that feeling, oh, I'm surrounded with money, right? And this exercise is literally helping you practice the opposite of the vibration of tuning into that absence of money.
I love that. And one of the things that I have always done is I put bills in my jackets, in my jeans. I leave them there on purpose because I know when I wear something after a while, especially, there's summer season, you come back to winter, you put on a jacket, and you pull out a $20 bill, it feels really good. And it's like,
Totally.
it's all around you. And so I love this process. I've done it for years. And it's like you said, you feel like you are surrounded by wealth because you are.
And some of the collective members literally within weeks started finding money in random places. And the momentum is just going to keep building from there. So I'm excited to see what kind of momentum continues to build as people continue to use this process.
I just got to tell you this because you said finding money. Kristin, my wife, literally, I'm not kidding you. Everywhere we go, she gets out of the car, she finds money. Every time, every day. It's not even a joke. There's not a day where she doesn't find money. It's like, and when you're in that vibration, I mean, the better it gets, the better it gets.
Totally. Awesome. Tip number 2?
Yes, sir.
So remember, we have an attraction point, and our attraction point is what defines our physical reality. So we just talked about focus, right? Focusing on absence or presence. The second thing that's important in our attraction point is the emotional state, the way we feel. Vibration of money correlates to the feeling of freedom. So a lot of people who have money blocks, and people who have a lot of lower back issues is another indication of this, but people who have a lot of money blocks tend to be practicing the emotion of stuckness rather than the emotion of freedom. So what you want to ask yourself, look at different circumstances in your life, maybe your work circumstance, maybe your relationship circumstance, financial circumstance. Look at a bunch of different circumstances. And if a lot of these circumstances make you feel stuck, then there's a good chance that you're dominantly practicing the vibration, the feeling of stuckness. And you want to work on shifting that into practicing the vibration of freedom. Because how do you feel when you have a lot of money? What would you feel like if your bank account had millions of dollars in it? Well, you'd feel empowered and you would feel free. And that's freedom and relief are, I would say, the two emotions people are reaching for in money manifestation. And that's what you need to practice in order to let it in. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes absolute sense. And I assume you have a process.
Oh, I have a good process. Here it is. So what people need to understand is that in order to practice the vibration, the emotion of freedom, you don't only have to practice it on money. So you just have to practice freedom in general without tuning into stuckness. So whenever you go to, let's say, Starbucks to get a fancy latte, wow, I've got the freedom to choose whatever I drink that I want to choose. Going to get a glass of water, wow, I have the freedom to get a glass of water. I have the freedom to go for a walk today. I have the freedom of speech. I have the freedom to shoot a YouTube video if I want. It's practicing the vibration of freedom under any context possible, even wealth, right? You can practice the feeling, the vibration of wealth in more ways than just finances, right? I remember on the last Abraham Hicks cruise, we were playing around in the watch shop trying on $40,000 watches. And, I have no interest in buying a $40,000 watch, but my mindset at the time was like, wow, would I ever feel wealthy? Would it ever help me practice the vibration of wealth if I was wearing a $40,000 watch? A few months later, my daughter, who was 9 at the time, bought me for my birthday a watch. And to me, that watch probably cost her $20, $40. One of the tickers on it wasn't even working properly. But to me, that watch was so much more valuable than a $40,000, Bulgari or whatever the brand was watch. So wearing that watch that my daughter gave me really brought in that feeling of wealth of relationships and wealth of love. So you can practice relief, freedom, wealth on topics outside of money, but it will still carry those vibrations over into money.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And there's, as you just said, the more of those what would it feel like questions you ask. And the more you put yourself in the state, the more you're going to just observe of how much freedom there is truly.
Totally.
So that was key point number 2 and process number 2. What's number 3?
So number 3 is probably the most important. It's my favorite one. It's one that's come up in the collective quite a bit over the last month. So for those of you guys watching, really listen to this one. So when somebody has a desire, let's say you want to go spend a month in Hawaii. Okay, so this is month in Hawaii. The very first thing you do is you go, okay, I want to spend a month in Hawaii. How am I going to make the money show up? So instead of working on becoming a vibrational match to trip in Hawaii, you're trying to become a vibrational match to let the money in, right? What people don't understand is that if this is trip to Hawaii and I allow myself to become a vibrational match to trip to Hawaii, no matter what is in my bank account, no matter what is going on in my physical reality experience, if I'm a vibrational match to it, I have to experience. It's a law. That's a law of attraction. What you become a vibrational match to, you must experience. So if you become a vibrational match to that thing that you want and have 0 in your bank account, cooperative components will make the money show up. If the money is a necessary part of the path to the experience and you are a match to the experience, cooperative components will bring the money to you. You do not have to manifest it. You do not have to figure it out. It will simply show up. So essentially what I'm saying is give money a reason to manifest. Stop being focused on the money aspect of the desire. Focus on becoming a vibrational match. Build momentum to the desire itself. And by becoming a match to it, the money will show up. It can't not show up.
I love that. I mean, I love that process. And you just said something that reminds me, our friends from the other side, and Abraham says it, Yussi says it, the human mind has a very limited number of ways of how to figure things out. They always say 5 to 7 ways that you can, figure things out. Yet when you tune into the vibration of your desire, all of a sudden you tap into source energy that has an unlimited number of ways to bring it about for you.
Totally.
So is there a specific process that you would like to introduce to this key point?
Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to become a vibrational match to that thing you want. Maybe it's a trip to Hawaii. Maybe it's living a life where all your bills are easily getting paid. It's about identifying, getting clarity on what's that thing that I want. What does the version of me who's experiencing that thing look like? How does that version of me, which I call your 2.0, how does that version of me feel? How does that version of me think? Identify the emotional set points you're achieving as that person, and then it's your job to embody being that person now. And I've got a meditation to help people with that. It's called my embodiment meditation, and people can find that at nickbreau.com/embody.
Fantastic. And as you can tell, the 3 key points and the 3 processes that Nick gives you, they are effective, but they're always simple. You will never have to, do 2 front flips to make anything work for you, because it has to be simple. Now, while the processes of the universe are complex, you don't have to worry about that. Your processes are always simple. And as you said, simplicity and consistency, right?
Law of attraction is not meant for just people with high IQs or high ability to put in a lot of effort. Literally, success in this world is meant for everybody. And everybody can achieve it. So yeah, simplicity and consistency, that's all it takes. And that's one of the reasons I created the collective, was to help people come into these live calls every week and be in a community of people who are all supporting each other and keeping the topic of vibration at the forefront, rather than something you just think about once every couple of months or something like that.
Plus, I always feel like you don't have to think and worry about the law of attraction. It is always there and always active, just like the law of gravity is always there and active. You simply operate with it, but now you do it consciously. So now you're manifesting consciously, and you just are experiencing the perks of being aware of it,
Yeah, and it's not just about seeing it as like a tool, a switch to flip. It's literally about looking at law of attraction like a lifestyle, right? In the same way that if you want to be fit, nutrition is a lifestyle, working out is a lifestyle. Well, if you want to literally be a power manifester, you need to look at this vibrational world and alignment as a lifestyle rather than just something you decide to try to figure out and use to manipulate your reality to bring something in that you want.
So Nick, now I do have a personal question for you because it is always personal. I mean, every process, every key point. So manifesting money, and if you're anything like me, then the thrill and the joy of expansion is always, at the forefront of your desires, I assume. So what are you looking to expand into? So how are you currently using the key points and the processes to expand into a reality that you're manifesting?
For me, my biggest practice right now is the practice of loving reality. Loving not just the good parts of reality, but loving the uncomfortable parts. One of the topics that came up in the live calls last month or earlier this month was, Iran and the US were butting heads, possibly about to jump into war. And, somebody asked the question, what can we do vibrationally to, try to make the best possible outcome in this tense circumstance? And I got reflecting on, the vibration of love and loving reality. And one of the collective members said something that is absolutely brilliant, which was loving your reality is the key to a lovely reality. And if you're really practicing a vibration where you're loving all aspects of your reality, then at a vibrational level, everything that manifests into your physical reality experience needs to be something that you will truly love, right? So
It's being unconditional. It's being unconditional in your love.
absolutely. And one of the questions I'm contemplating for the hot seat when I go on the Ape Cruise in March is that very topic of, if I can really unconditionally not only love myself unconditionally, but love all of my reality unconditionally, will there still be experiences of contrast like war, parts of reality that people don't truly love? And I'm excited to see what her answer is going to be on that topic.
Fantastic. Nick, thank you so much for sharing the key money points with us and for giving us an insight on how the collective works. Again, this is breakthrough specialist Nick Breau. If you haven't seen, we'll also share links to the past videos with Nick because we've done a few. And, if you were just away getting coffee and you're tuning in, Nick has this wonderful thing called the Power Manifesting Collective, which is a weekly call with Nick in a group setting. And you can join today. There's a money back guarantee, but you can join for $25 for the first month. It's like 75% off. So literally no risk, for you. You can just dive in, you get access to all of Nick's past calls. And you also get a 30-minute one-on-one call with Nick as a new member, to get this more intimate, more private setting. Maybe you have a few questions. Maybe there's something you'd like to know. And you can also join the free e-course. We're going to link to that as well. So this is a beautiful invitation to expand, to create your new reality, and to do it with fellow co-creators on the leading edge in Nick's Power Manifesting Collective. Nick, thank you so much for being with us. As always, it was fun.
Always a blast.
Joy, co-creation, and we're looking forward to the next time.
All right, thank you. You stay out of trouble.
I will. You too.
See you later.